DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, it is Monday, and as you all know by now, I usually do a few tags on Monday, and it will be no exception, except that I'm in my barbecue shack, if I could call it that way. It's where I keep like the barbecue stuff, and in the winter, the barbecues are actually here. There's a lot of wind outside, so that's why I came here, to get out of the wind. Okay, so I just finished doing Jasmine's tag, and now I'm going to go and see how I can tackle Dave Nicholson's last Saturday 7-question tag. Hi there, Dave. Hope you're doing well, and let's get right on it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer all these. Question 1. Who or what do you think of when you think of love? Oh, well, actually, there's two, I'll think of two. I have two answers. One is my family. Yeah, and so my wife, my kids, my grandchildren, my mom, my dad, my great friend, my family, yeah. And God. These are the two that I think of. So the two groups, we could call it that way, my family and God, that I think of when I think of love, because that's where love comes from, and that is very much, when I think of, loving relationships and so on, that's it, yeah. Question 2. If your life was a novel, what would be the title, and how would your story end? What would be the title? Wow, that's difficult. DC is not his name. For many years, and still a lot of people actually still call me DC. And the people around here have no idea why, there's this DC. Or he smiles. I don't know. It could be that. Yeah, actually, he smiles. How would the story end? It I guess the story will end with me passing on. How else would it end? If it was a novel, and having a legacy of grandkids and family members of which I'm happy and proud of, because I'm going that way. So the story sounds like it should be ending in the right way. Okay, that's not. I don't really know how to answer that one. It's not an easy one, Question 3. What would you not give up for 1 million in cash? Well, something, as crazy as it sounds, 1 million in cash is actually not that much anymore. We've said that actually on many vlogs. When I was a kid, everybody talked about being a millionaire and this and that. And now in today's world, you have to talk about being a billionaire. Because finally, being a millionaire does not mean, I wouldn't mind being a millionaire, but it's just saying that it's not what it was, What would I not give up? Frankly, I wouldn't give up my health. I certainly would not. I would not compromise on things that would harm my family. I would not give up any body parts for 1 million in cash. If I die, you can use my body parts, but no. So yeah, that's about it. What would I give up? I'll give you my car. No, there's a few strange things like that, but frankly, I don't have anything that would be worth it, anything in the sense of anything that would be worth it, I would not give up. stupid things like I just said, my car or what like that, but that's not what it's meant to hear. Okay, question 4. When do you feel like yourself most? When do you feel like yourself most? Probably on Saturdays, often when the family's around and we're sitting around the table, or after the meal and having a chat, having a drink together, and just having an easy time of conversation, and something like that. When we went over to Canada not too long ago for my mother-in-law's funeral, we stayed a few days at my niece's and her husband's. They came over here, so they had us over. And so on my wife's side, it kind of made sense that we went to their place. And we were just having a meal and sitting around and having a chat and so on, and discussing things of life, And that I felt like really like me then, yeah. Okay. Now, let me see. Question 5. When you help someone, do you ever think, what's in it for me? Actually, no. I never even, I'm looking at the question and thinking like, no, I've never actually thought of that. Especially not if I help someone. If I'm in a job or something, or doing something which I know there might be something in it for me, yeah, but not when I help someone, no. I know that some people like to do volunteer work because they think they get like honorific titles and things like that, and they think like that's what it's in for them. But no, I've never thought of it in that way. So when you help someone, you think, what's in it for me? Well, if I help like my daughter-in-law, we'll be having the kids this week. So what's in it for me? Yeah, it's going to be a night camping with the kids. That's in it for me, things like that. But that's not actually what's meant here in the question. So I guess there's nothing in it for me in the sense of as the question is written. Okay, question 6. What is your greatest challenge? Oh boy. Oh. I think actually one of the greatest challenges right now, and it's probably the same greatest challenge for everybody, is being smart financially in today's world, being smart morally, blogger's itch, being smart morally in today's world. There's things like that, because like if you're retired, and especially now that we're retired, you're going to have more or less a fixed income for pretty much the rest of your life. And I'm thinking like, let's say I live 25 more years or what. If I look at 25 years back and how prices have evolved, it's going to be darn tight in 25 years from now with the same money. So that is a pretty big challenge, I guess. Yeah. At my age, Question 7. 7 and last. How do you know when it's time to continue holding on or time to let go? I was almost going to say you just kind of know, but that's not a real answer, is it? I'm thinking of things like when we were working on certain projects when I was in my working environment, and all of a sudden everything that you try just quickly unravels and doesn't work anymore, and there's just seems to be no issue. That's kind of when it's time. You say, well, okay, I think it is time to move on and to let go. I think when you've given all you know in your innermost self that you've given all you can and you can't come up with anything else, it's probably time to let go, because that might be the time when, could be in a relationship, but it could also be in a project where you realize that, you know, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to give what you want. And finally, depending on what it is, well, you know me by now, I will pray. I'll pray for wisdom, and very often that wisdom will be given to me, and then I'll know it's time to let go. So come back to what I said in the beginning. Sometimes you just know, and you're not able to really say, sometimes you're not really able to say why. And then you think about it and you think like, okay, that's probably something that's given to me, some wisdom that's given to me from above. I know that's not a satisfying answer for some of you, but yeah, it's kind of a satisfying answer for me. And I see I'm up to 11 minutes, so it's going to have to be time to let go. Okay, that'll be it. DC signing off. Thanks, Dave. And take care, everybody. And see you next time. Bye-bye.